Welcome back. I'm not going to break out in song, but it's the most wonderful time of the year. And I don't mean Christmas, because 2024 is a presidential election year. And before even the first primary, caucus, or election has been held, a record number of Americans are hoping that neither President Joe Biden or former President Donald Trump are the nominees for their respective parties. But despite those sentiments, as filing dates have passed, it looks more and more likely that a contest between the two 2020 candidates is likely again. Mike, President Biden's declining poll numbers have many Democrats worried that he could actually lose.
No, I think it's a concern. I think it's interesting because I think there are a lot of positive elements to point to, but I think there are a lot of challenges in the world right now that where they're just difficult to navigate through, and they've got to come up with a better way to tell their story. But there are a lot of things that he and they can't control. I think the challenge that you've also got is lose to who? I mean, I think if we're running against President Trump or former President Trump, I think that you have a situation where you're still up in a situation where it's Biden versus Trump, and I don't like either, but I really don't like where I'm going, where former President Trump is going to take us, especially with his latest elements of him being a dictator for a day or as long as I think I want to be.
You mean, are you emphasizing the Trump chaos that goes along with the former president? Mark, despite federal and state criminal and civil lawsuits, former President Trump appears stronger than ever in the Republican Party. And I have to say, I'm one that would like to see another candidate. So how is that possible?
Well, I think one of the challenges, I always hear the Democrats are saying, they want to throw more lawsuits and charges against him. And up to now, it's been a little like the boy who cries wolf, which is that we've seen with the Russian interference claims, with a whole series of other things that in many ways, the pile-on has made him stronger with his base because of the frustration that people have with what really is seen as the sort of the politicization of the legal process. That said, I think one or both of the parties will end up with a different nominee than the two front runners. I think that we've seen this in presidential years. There's a tendency for things to happen very quickly after kind of the slow process of the year before the presidential year, and be prepared for some change.
Well, you're stealing my thunder here, Mark, because I was going to ask Laurie, and I was going to point out that in 1968, President Lyndon Johnson was considered the likely Democratic Party candidate. And then Lyndon lost in New Hampshire. He lost to Eugene McCarthy. 2 days later, Bobby Kennedy joined the race. And about 3 weeks later, Johnson got out. So things do happen. Now, Laurie, the Iowa caucus is in about 3 weeks. Looks like Ron DeSantis may upset Donald Trump there because he's got the support of the governor, Kim Reynolds. Does the Trump train get derailed if DeSantis wins Iowa and Haley wins New Hampshire?
No way. I mean, Trump is leading. He's growing in his lead. He's 47 to 42% against Biden. And I do see, though, Joe Manchin. I saw him on Fox News a couple of days ago, and he, I think, is already.
He's going to file to become a Republican and join the race.
No. I think he's gonna run as a Democrat. And he's going to jump in, and I think that he could possibly beat Trump. Not that I want that to happen, but I could stomach Joe Manchin a lot more than I can stomach Biden. So I think that, unless something drastic happens, I think that Trump he's so way ahead of everyone else. That,
Mike, I'm going to cut you off. Yeah. We're running out of time, but Mike, you recall that when Bill Clinton was elected, that year, Governor Bush at the beginning of the year had a 90% approval rating, and the other qualified candidate, like Senate Majority Leader Gephardt and others, dodged the race because they thought it was Bush's to win. So things can happen.
Oh no, they can. I'm in Mark's camp. I think there's a likely scenario that neither of the candidates that think they're the front runners right now are ultimately the candidates. And I can't tell you what chips are going to fall to make that happen, but there are enough different things out there that could happen that I think that's pushing 50-50 anyway.
So Mark, what happens? I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Laurie. If DeSantis wins Iowa and Haley wins both South Carolina and New Hampshire, does Trump's inevitability lessen?
Well, yes, it would. I mean, I'm not sure about DeSantis in Iowa, but I think Haley is certainly doing well in New Hampshire. There's a strong base for Trump within the party, 40-45%, but there is also a strong anti-Trump base within the party. And I think as a result, it could be a more protracted primary. It's not going to be resolved as quickly as, frankly, a lot of people seem to assume.
Well, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for the new year.